Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, live from the Beehive. It's Tuesday morning. It's a sunny morning today, and I'm so excited to be here. A happy belated Mother's Day to everyone out there and their mothers. And I had a great Mother's Day. My husband braved one of our favorite restaurants to get takeout. It was probably better that we didn't eat there because he said it was an absolute zoo. So he brought takeout. My favorite, I'm a big salad person, so I had salad and salmon, and that made me very happy. Good morning, Janine. So yeah, it was a great Mother's Day, and my son wrote me a very, very sweet card, which I love because he's a teenager now, and it's not too often that you get those sweet moments anymore, but he wrote a really heartfelt card, and that made me very happy. So I hope everyone had a great Mother's Day, and so let's get started stamping. So today's card is a card that we case out of the catalog, and this time we are casing out of the Occasions catalog. And casing is just a fancy word for copy and share everything. So basically we're just copying a card out of the catalog, and when we copy, most of us in this challenge, we change some things around, but you're perfectly welcome to copy the card exactly as is. We learn by copying exactly, and we learn by copying and changing things. So it's kind of whatever you want. It's meant to be an exercise that we can learn from. So sometimes my cards, they might not be my style, and it forces me out of my style, and that is a good thing. So sometimes you might see a card and go, that doesn't look like Brenda's card, but it's a card, it's an exercise in trying something new. And so I hope you will join us and do it as well. We have a Facebook group set up where you can join and you can share your cards. And every week we have people that join and share with us. And my downline Catalina and I are both involved with this. She posts the card on her blog as well, and she does every week. She also does a sample card. Actually, she was the one that started this, and I kind of jumped on board with her. So it's kind of a cool thing because we have a great group of ladies, and hopefully I don't know if we have any gentlemen right now, but you are welcome to join us too. It doesn't have to be just ladies. So, jump on board and join our group and share with us. So let me turn my camera around and I will show you today's card. Okay, there's my view. Isn't it beautiful today? I mean, that is a fabulous view for today, but let me turn it to my card. Okay, let me move my camera just a little bit. Sorry that I have to get this adjusted. I just have one camera stand right now. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let me grab this. This is my website, my blog address. So if you want to refer to anything that I'm doing here, I'll also post a picture of this card and the measurements on my blog. And it has a link to all the supplies that I use for every single project. I always put a visual supply list down at the bottom of the blog post. So down here, this card right here is the one that we are casing. I'm going to cover up the rest of the stuff on this catalog page. It's actually page 31 of the Occasions catalog. This catalog, we will be done with it at the end of the month. Some things are carrying over and some things are retiring. So this is the card right here that we're casing, and it's got a really different layout. You notice like these little strips of paper. That is not a normal sort of layout that we have. Hello, Yuri and Brian. Thank you for joining me. So this is a little different for me to be casing as well. So what I did with it was I took the Weather Together stamp set, and I used this pretty paper from the Blooms and Bliss Designer Series paper collection, and I kind of thought it looked like raindrops, so I thought it kind of made sense with my umbrella theme. And then down here I embossed thanks in silver. So today I'm going to do the card just a little bit differently. I'm going to do it with a white background, and you can tell me afterwards which background you like better. I went with the Dapper Denim card base in the original, but I wanted to try something a little bit new for the live version. So this is the stamp set I'm using. It's called Weather Together. I'm using the thanks from that one. And right now it's still available as a bundle with, these are called the Umbrella Weather Framelets. And right now, if you purchase these together, you can save 10%. But after May 31st, you can still get these both separately, just not as a bundle. So to get started on this card, I'm going to put this up here for reference. I think we'll do the die cutting first because that just kind of makes sense. Let me bring in my Big Shot. And I've got two pieces, kind of scrap pieces of paper. I've got a piece of Daffodil Delight, and I've got a piece of silver foil sheet. And we're going to be using this die, that's the top of the umbrella, and it also scores some little lines, so that's cool. And then we'll use this as the umbrella handle. And let me just put those on there. I like to use my magnetic platform, but you can use your regular platform too. I've got a cutting plate down, and now I'm going to put a cutting plate on top. And then I'm just going to crank this through. Hopefully I won't hit my stand. Okay, good. I didn't. So this little handle is cut, and I kind of like that it's silver and will be reflective. And this one right here, we've got, you can kind of see, let me see if I can hold this up to the light a little bit. You can kind of see that there's some embossed lines on there. Let's take this one little step further on the umbrella. I'm going to take this scallop piece right here, and this does some little embossing down at the bottom. So it adds a little detail, and you just line up the scallops with the bottom of your umbrella. And then I'm just going to put my cutting plate back on top and run it back through. And just pull this off like that. And so you can see it's embossed a little detail on there for not too much work. So let me put this out of the way. Okay, and now we'll need a card base, and I'm going to take a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock, and I've cut this piece to 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and I have scored it in half at the 5 1/2 inch mark. And let me grab a bone folder. I'm just going to fold this in half along the score line. And I like to use my bone folder to smooth down the fold, and that helps my card lie flat like that. If you have any questions or comments while I'm doing this, please feel free to pop in and type me something. I kind of am scanning occasionally to see if there's any comments. So then we need to add the striped pieces of Designer Series paper. And so I've already cut those. They're like kind of little tiny strips. And this is kind of a nondescript pattern, so I'm not really worried about putting it back in any particular order. But all of these pieces measure 3 1/2 by 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to take some Tombow. And this is a really good glue. It keeps things right down on the paper. And I'm just going to follow the pattern that I did here on this umbrella card. And I followed the same pattern that was in the catalog of the strips, because I wasn't too creative with that. Someone had already thought that out. So I just put a little bit of Tombow. This is going to be about 3/4 of an inch from the bottom, and maybe 3/8 of an inch from the side. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be perfect. The one thing that, well, I don't even know if it needs to be straight. I was going to say they needed to be straight, but I'm not even sure if they need to be straight. The idea is that it's like some random strips. I have trouble with being random. Good morning, Barbara. Glad you're here. Some Tombow on here. This one I'm going to put right up against the edge, and I'm just going to leave a little bit of room in between the two strips. And for me, I'm going to keep them straight. So this is really the fiddly part of this layout, is getting these little strips on. But you're just kind of laying them down in a random, not random pattern. It's hard to be random sometimes. I think it's easier just to line everything up and be perfectly, you know, straight, and sometimes it's very hard to get that random in there. So that's why I'm just following the pattern in the catalog. So one more strip and putting that up top like that. Okay, so I think, you know, normally I don't like to add all the elements to my card and then stamp, but I kind of need to add the elements on here to know where to put my stamp. So I guess I could lay it out too. So I think I'm gonna do, I need to be a little bit over. I wanna have my umbrella over top of the designer series paper. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I have enough room down here to put the thanks. And on this card, I had to emboss in order for it to be seen. Good morning, Catherine. So I did silver embossing, which I love embossing because, you know, it would match the handle, but you won't be able to see it so much on here, and you can get away with using gray instead of silver. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use Smoky Slate ink and my little thanks down here. And I'm going to put this, I just bumped my thing, but I think I know where to stamp it. I'm going to put it right about there. And it kind of mimics the silver on here. So, you know, that's pretty good. So now let me just kind of line this up again. All right, that looks good. Let me put this here as a place marker, and I'll just put some Tombow on the back of my umbrella handle. And then I'm just going to put this down here. Like that. You have a little bit of a chance to position that before it really gets stuck down. And then this umbrella top, I think I'm going to do with some dimensionals. That way it kind of, I did it on this card, you can kind of see, it adds a little bit of a lift to the back. So I am going to do that. 3 dimensionals should be good. And then you just remove the backings. Okay. And then you can just stick your umbrella right on top like that. So that's it. That's my card for today. It was, you know, pretty easy after I got the strips down. I don't know. What do you think? Do you like the white one better or the blue one better? I don't know. I mean, they're both very different looks. I think probably the white one pops the umbrella a little bit, and the blue on the background kind of blends a little better. I don't know. I think I could go either way. Oh, you know, the one thing I did not add, which is like a little tiny touch, you can barely see them on here, is I added little stars. These are the little 2016-2018 enamel shapes. Let me grab my paper piercing tool, and you can just add these on here. Now, if you wanted to like make them stand out a little bit more, we could stick them like outside of the strips. See, with my other card, I kind of stuck them on there and they almost blend in too well. So maybe, I'm trying to see, put it here, here, I'll put it here. Yeah, that looks a little better. You can actually see my little stars, and maybe one down here or here. I think I'll put it right there. There. Add the few little stars, and that will make it look a little bit blingy. What do you think? And Catherine says she likes them both. Yeah, I mean, it's not my style of cards, so it's like it's a harder card for me to do, but I liked it because I think it makes me think a little bit differently. It makes me think of having a different type of background than I normally would, because you know, we tend to do backgrounds that are solid shapes, you know, like circles, ovals, squares, rectangles. We don't often think about doing a backdrop that is like strips like this. So hello, Jeannie. It's so nice of you to join us, and I know you're joining us all the way from Denmark, so that's so cool. We have people from different parts of the world here, so that's awesome. But so it, you know, it makes you think about doing a background in a different manner. So I hope you will jump on our Casing Tuesday Facebook group. I will post the link to that group in this Facebook live post, and you can just click on that and it will take you to the page, and you just ask to join, and Catalina and I will approve you sometime today, and then you can see what everyone else is stamping, and you can stamp your own. You can, if you want, you can just lurk and look and see what we're doing, but I hope you will join in because that's always fun. I have a complete supply list that for these cards. I have the measurements for these cards all on my blog, cubiesquest.com. So I hope you will pop over there and check that out. If you have any questions, you can always send me an email as well. That is on my blog. Okay, guys, let me flip you around one more time. Okay. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. I hope it's sunny wherever you are. It's going to be sunny and 60 degrees here, and maybe, just maybe, I'll get out of this turtleneck later today. I tell you, when it's like freezing in the morning, you don't feel like putting on a t-shirt. So I hope wherever you are, the weather is getting better, and so have a fabulous day, and I hope you get some stamping time today. So I will be seeing you next week for another Facebook Live. Bye.